I used the word broadcast a minute ago. She didn't know what I was talking about.
I did too.
Oh, okay. So you weren't confused by what I was saying?
I didn't know what you were asking.
Right.
I didn't.
I.e.
Yeah.
confused by the word broadcast.
No.
Because it's an old term.
No.
She's like, you like share and stream
No.
on other platforms? I'm like, yeah.
No, you asked if I had all my stuff ready to broadcast. Mm-hmm. Right. And I thought.
I said, are you ready to broadcast to all the different areas?
I'm glaring at the camera just so you know. No, but I thought you were asking because I was pulling up multiple different videos you have ready to show our friends.
Right. So instead of listening to the words I said, you assumed that I could see what you were doing and knew what you were preparing and that what you had ready was ready to go rather than what I asked. Hi. This is how we have discussions.
Yeah.
And work things out.
Yeah, that's fine. What's up, people? Hey, Mr. Big Chief. Hey, Miranda, Symphony, Happy Quails, Grams, Boulder Vixen, New Mexico Citizen, Mike Stevens. What's happening, people?
What is
Nils, Nix.
Hey.
From Denmark.
What's up?
John.
My Danish row.
AK Lady. And wow, there's a bunch of you in here. That was fast. Y'all are like on alert this week, aren't you?
So she's got some videos she wants to share with you guys.
Indeed.
And maybe you can comment or talk to people about it. It's just, nothing specific to any of our cases, just stuff that she's found on the interwebs. And then I think tonight at 7, I believe it's 7 p.m. Eastern, NC Tyrant Hunter or Jeff is here. I'm not sure what channel he's doing it. He's got a live panel tonight talking about Sixth Amendment stuff. So I may pop over there for a bit tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
And this week there's probably going to be a lot of live streams to pay attention to. People out on the streets, people checking out what's going on with the governmental overlords and capitals and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And so stay tuned for that. There may be some live streams from this channel this week, from on the ground stuff. So take it away. I'm going to go tell them to keep it down.
Pipe down. Yeah. All right. So I have 2 videos and a story I've been following. If you guys don't follow the Free Thought Project, currently, let's see, they have a Facebook page, but it's in jeopardy, of course. But they're also on like MeWe and Float app. And they actually have like a website, freethoughtproject.com, I think it is. But that's where I'm going to pull this stuff up from because they do a really good job of telling stories and sharing what in the world's going on. All right, so this one I'm going to pull it first because it's redonkulous. Did I click share audio? Stand by.
I create a magic 8-ball that speaks to me audibly. Possibly no. Signs point to.
All signs point to probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the first one is, I don't know how to say the name of the city. It's Metairie in LA.
I'd say Metairie.
Metairie. Well, that's the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Department handled this situation very poorly. Apparently, there was a 16-year-old with his family. They went out to play laser tag. I think I told you about this briefly. And they were leaving, and he was autistic, and he had a fit, and so he started hitting himself in the head, and he was hitting his dad. Well, his family, this is not uncommon. Unfortunately for the family, the sheriff's department, some deputies happened to be pulling up as this was unfolding. So I don't know if somebody called them, but they arrived on the scene and went into kill everything mode. And apparently they attacked the kid, and the family's like yelling at them, trying to communicate to the officers, the attackers, that he has special needs, he has a limited vocabulary, he's not understanding you, They take the kid to the ground and they sat on him for 9 minutes until he suffocated and died. They killed him. And this was in Jefferson Parish, county, I guess, or Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Department. Yeah. So what was the Sheriff's Department's response? That's the question. Okay, so these guys did something terrible. What happened? The response of the Sheriff's Department is that they were justified and they are insulting the family because the family just started a lawsuit against the Sheriff's Department. And the Sheriff's Department's response was like, it's disgusting that they're disparaging our department and that they would try to profit off of this tragic event. So clearly they're assholes. Yeah, Free Thought Project has a whole article on that one. I don't have that video, but it's disturbing. The video I do have is a little girl. She's 11 years old. She did not die, to be clear, so it's not as, well, it's a different story. She was at school, so you would think that would be, people would think that would be a safe place, right, for their kid? Here you go.
Why?
Well, they send them there every day, so I would think that they would think that they were sending their child somewhere safe if they were continuing to send them there.
I think they think about it. Oh, yeah. There's no actual thinking going on. It's just they're doing it because they're programmed to do it. Okay. Well, this was in Farmington, New Mexico. Did you guys hear about this one? So apparently this was back in November. You guys can see this, yeah? They have their 1,000 deaths per year quota to hit murders. Okay, so this was in, New Mexico citizens here. You might have heard of this. Yeah, fuck the police. So back in November, apparently this video, this situation unfolded, and afterwards, the officer, the attacker here, the child abuser in the video, was allowed to resign. And so he resigned quietly from the department. I guess he was thinking that it would just go away. So he left. Well, thankfully, there were activists around that weren't going to let that slide to bring it back to the attention of the people. He was charged, and he did plead no contest to a felony charge of child abuse and misdemeanor battery. Now, because there was a plea deal, he had 2 other battery charges that were dropped in the plea deal. The prosecutor was calling for the highest punishment, which would have been 3 years in prison. But the judge bought the sob story because the officer like, I just responded by my training. This is how we're trained. I'm not a social worker. I don't know how to deal with special needs. I don't know these things. And I did what I was told. And you've already punished me this and this. So the judge, because they're on the same team, okay, the judge is there to protect the officer. He's not there to protect the people either. He sentenced him to 3 years of conditional discharge, suspension, and probation. So I don't know exactly what that conditional discharge thing is. Does that mean he gets to come back after the 3 years? Do you have any idea? I have no idea. But in any event, he got probation for 3 years. He didn't even see the inside of the cage. He gets to, it's just ridiculous. Here's his, I'm going to mute ours and play this. I think this is actually a news story, so they're not going to show the full video probably, because by actual news story, I mean mainstream here. Can you, I'm going to watch my phone when I play this, and if you can't hear it, throw some twos in the chat for me.
That former Farmington police officer caught on video here roughing up an 11-year-old special needs student learned his punishment just hours ago. That former police officer is not going to spend any time in jail, despite what prosecutors had wanted in this case. For investigator Nathan and Neil first exposed all of this back in 2019, and he has been tracking it ever since.
Tessa, when we first broke this story, it made national headlines, and there was a lot of outrage. Fast forward more than a year later, the state in court today argued its case to lock up the disgraced officer for 3 years, but the judge decided on 0.
Everybody makes mistakes, and I'm willing to admit that I made mistakes.
That's former Farmington police officer Zachary Christensen testifying today in court for his actions in this video.
Okay, I've had enough of this. Take your bag off. Take your bag off. You're done. You're done.
In 2019, Christensen was caught on camera roughing up an 11-year-old student with special needs after she misbehaved at school.
Yes, I actually had a sub.
Turn over! Turn over!
Christensen resigned from the force and a year later was slapped with a child abuse charge. Just last month, he pleaded no contest.
He's deflecting blame and he's minimizing his own wrongdoing.
In a virtual hearing today, prosecutors called for the maximum sentence, 3 years behind bars for what was documented in this video that was first exposed by our 4 Investigates team.
He classified this as, quote unquote, an undeserved hardship. An undeserved hardship brought upon him by the callous AG's office. It is not at all undeserved. He chose volitionally to commit this attack.
And for the first time, Christensen explained himself.
And I'm not a social worker, and the way I was trained was how I responded.
But our reporting found Christensen was in violation of department policy that day for violating use of force policy and for unsatisfactory performance.
I lost my career. I lost the ability to ever get a law enforcement job again. We had to move because of death threats. This is a one-time incident that I'm not proud of, but it's never going to happen again, ever.
And while the state wanted Christensen locked up, Judge Curtis Gurley disagreed.
I don't believe that to be appropriate under all the facts and the circumstances.
Now, to be clear, Christensen will not spend a day behind bars, but will be placed on supervised probation for the next 3 years. As for Attorney General Hector Balderas, whose office prosecuted this case, well, he is not happy about this. He sent us a statement that reads, quote, "We were able to secure a conviction in this case, but this sentence is highly disappointing. By allowing a conditional discharge, this defendant will have admitted to abusing a young minority special needs student in a school and can effectively walk away like it never happened." Now, as for Christensen, on top of probation, he will also be screened for anger management. And if he gets through all of that without any problems, that child abuse charge could be wiped from his record. Tessa?
All right, great job covering this, Nathan, in all of its entirety.
What the actual... Yeah, I didn't hear that. We're back unmuted and all that. When I clicked this before, I came across the full body cam footage, which I thought was on this page, but I don't know where I came across it then. And the principal is there for all of this. Like the whole thing that supposedly started this, was that the little girl took 2 milks that morning instead of 1 and had an attitude. And I guess she threw one of them on the floor. And so they called her mom to come pick her up. And she was waiting at the door for her mom to come pick her up. And so the principal was there standing in the lobby with her. And the, security guy, the cop, was there too. Just, I don't know, whatever. So they were just chatting. Well, she was standing blocking the door, propping it open. And the principal came over and he was chill. Like, you can tell he works with kids, the way he talks to her. He's like, you need to either come in or go outside. You need to close the door, which really, really wasn't a big deal. But so he's trying to get her to come in or go out. Eventually, she decides to come in and then go out a different door. So she comes inside and tries to go out the door he was standing at and brushes past him. And he's like, hold on, I'm standing here. What are you doing? And she's like, I'm just going outside. He's like, okay. So he steps out of her way. Well, the minute she does that, the cop lost his shit and ran after her. He runs out the door. He grabs her backpack. He's like, you're done. You're done. That's what you see on the video that they showed. And start taking her back, trying to take her backpack off of her, why? I don't even know what that thinking is. I gotta take your backpack. No, it's just hurt this person. Or not even person. He's not thinking in front of a person. Yeah, and so he's sitting there yelling at her, screaming at her, and she's screaming back because she's a kid. And she's like, get off me, get off me. And he takes her to the ground and she's screaming and he's still yelling at her. Finally, the principal's standing there the whole time. And he's like, hey, sir, I think you need to let her up. Because she's screaming at the cop, you tell me to do all of these things. How am I supposed to do all of these things at one time? I can't. It's impossible. I'm like, man, this kid's smarter than this guy. That's for sure. And the principal's like, yes, sir, you need to let her up. But he had no balls. Like, while I appreciated that he said something, and maybe it kept the cop from killing her. Like, so there's that. But he didn't like step forward. And I realized if he had tried to physically intervene, then, you know, the cop just whatever. But the kid's just yelling, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. I didn't even do anything. And it cut off before like you see like how it all ends. But
so the paradigm, the programming, the mentality is, like you mentioned earlier, that they assume that their kids are safe at school. But then they have quote unquote resource officers. Well, why do they have resource officers? It's not to be a resource to the students, it's to be a resource to the government employees, i.e. the teachers and administrators at the school, right? Mm-hmm. They have a resource available to them. What resource do the police have that the administrators and the teachers don't? They use a force, violence. Yeah, they can use up to lethal force, right? So how is that keeping your kids safe, right? Again, the courts have ruled multiple times. I think the most recent one was down in Florida, maybe 2019, with the school shooting. Oh yeah. And the deputy, the quote resource officer there, fled the shooting in the school, went out to his patrol car and called it in from his patrol car and hid there until, you know, a bunch of backup arrived. He didn't protect the students. He didn't protect the school. And the judge upheld previous court rulings that the law enforcement officer has no duty to protect the students. They have no duty to protect the public. That's not their job. They're not there to protect the public. They're there to protect the government agents. They're there to protect their political masters and their overlords. That's their job, is to protect the system from the public, right? So this idea, this copper-shooting nonsense, is back to blue bullshit that people, you know, have ingrained in them. Like, it's indoctrination. Like, we've had, you know, 1,200 hours, like, you know, more, like plus, like, it's 12,000 hours. I forget what it is. It's crazy, like, amount of indoctrination in school systems, right? And you get bombarded with this nonsense propaganda. It's on all their, you know, cars, and it's at their departments. They have fundraisers, you know, like this one they had in Madison. Like, they try to raise money to do charity for giving kids Christmas presents and stuff. It's to desensitize the public that, oh look, they're just people trying to do good things for the community, when they don't show all the people that they violate every day. Like, the first official duty that an officer does is to lie, to swear, to give an oath. That it's supposed to be a lifelong thing, right? To make this solemn oath before God and everybody, right? And it's a lie, because they swear to uphold the U.S. Constitution and the laws of the state. Well, there's like tens of thousands of laws in the state that they're in, right? And most of those contradict the Constitution. Even if one contradicted the Constitution, then they're lying, because they can't uphold both, right? Right. They're gonna have to pick. They're gonna have to sit down and do some kind of reasoning before executing whatever it is, whatever statute, right? They have to actually contemplate that with the U.S. Constitution. And how many of them do that? How many of them actually say, okay, well, let me pull up the statutes and see, okay, what can I bust this person on? Oh yeah, this, and this. Okay, now let me pull up the U.S. Constitution and see if those things jive, if those things are actually legitimate laws, right? And they don't. Why don't they do that? Because they don't take their oath seriously. Because they haven't been told. They haven't been taught. They haven't been trained to actually take their oath seriously, to actually think for themselves and weigh these things out. And the public equally so. So it's no surprise that this is what you get. When the principal, he's been programmed, or she, I don't know if it's a dude or a chick in this case. So, well, his programming is the same, right? He's working with the assumption, oh, the cop is supposed to be the protector. He's supposed to protect and serve the students. He's operating on that assumption. And so if the protector is the attacker, who's going to protect and the students. If they're supposed to protect somebody, if you're going to protect somebody, if you want to defend the Constitution, as is the oath, right? Defend the Bill of Rights. Then to defend somebody, you need to put yourself in between the attacker and the subject of the attack, right? You need to put up a shield, right? That's why they used to call them shields, badges, right?
Right.
That's supposed to be the idea. So why don't they do that? Why is it that they're more concerned about going home at night? I gotta make sure my officers come home at night. You hear from chiefs all the time, or supervisors, right? In police departments. That's their number one focus, is getting their people home at night. This division, us and them, getting the blue thugs, the blue ISIS, to be able to go home at night. That is their main concern. Everybody else be damned. The public be damned. They're not there to serve and protect the public. They're there to serve and protect themselves and their political masters, right? So they're there to protect the system. They're there to protect the ideas of the system, the propaganda, to keep it going. But when you, as a principal or as somebody else, you see anybody, you see an attacker in a blue line costume attacking somebody, why do you just allow it to happen? Right? Anybody, regardless of what fucking clothes they're wearing, what costume they're wearing, it doesn't matter. Say something. Yeah, if that doesn't stop them, then stop them. Will that put you in danger? Yes, absolutely. It'll put you in danger, probably mortal danger, right? Right. But are you going to allow an attacker to continue to abuse a child in your presence? Or are you going to stop them at the cost to yourself, potentially, and actually be a defender? So, yeah, it's crazy. There's no thinking. Do you got more videos? Or?
I don't have a video, but I just...
You want to catch up on comments from?
Yeah, I was putting in somebody asked about the judge's name. It was Curtis Gurley was the judge. And I need to look out the window because there's a lot of things happening outside. One second. Oh, it's Amazon delivery guy. No, I was just thinking about that little girl, like, because she's being conditioned and trained and currently in the training of, these are the good guys, right? Like, the principal is the good guy, quote fingers, the cop, the security officer, like, I know everybody gets mixed stories, but just what she's going through, what she has to live with now, having been attacked by the person that she's told is there for safety. Like, yeah. Okay. So the other story, I can pull it up, but I don't really have to. It's not a video. There's a 91-year-old woman in California, San Bernardino, California. She apparently was 91 years old, blind, and mostly deaf, and lived alone with her dogs, which I thought was pretty cool. Like, good for her. And she made it that long, right? Well, she was concerned about the possibility of an intruder one night, and I guess called 911 or the sheriff's department, whatever. Well, they came out, and she wasn't sure that it was them, and had her shotgun in her hand when they found her, or I don't know if she came to the door or how that exactly played out. So she confronts the police and has the shotgun in her hand, and they, of course, freak out and start, barking orders at her. Well, she's 91 years old. She can't hear well, and she can't see them, and didn't do exactly what they said. Of course, afterwards, their story is that she pointed at them, but who knows? I'm very curious to see body camera footage on that one. But it didn't. They unloaded 8, 9, 10 shots into this woman and killed her on her step. So she had a gun in her hand when she met the cops. So,
right,
like, that's her right to have a gun. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And of course they're going to say she pointed at them. It doesn't matter what actually happened. They shot and killed a 91-year-old woman. Of course that's the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if, yeah. So she's holding it. Because if you hold a gun and a cop sees you holding it, your life is in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much for
It's the most,
right.
I'd say it's the most cowardly job on the planet. You have to be the biggest coward to be a police officer, especially in the United States, because they shoot and they use the excuse, I was afraid for my life. The
Right.
dog. There's a dog.
Oh,
Right.
Yes.
Post office workers, like package delivery guys, food delivery people, like
right.
They
DPS guys.
Yeah.
They deal with dogs all the time.
Yeah.
I think
they manage to have very well working businesses,
Mhm.
the guys that do the meters, like all these people, like go to people's houses, like,
and aren't killed by dogs every day.
right. And they don't kill dogs.
No.
Like, but the cops,
They don't have to.
right? Any excuse, like to use that hammer, because that's their training. Like the guy said in the first one, well, that's the way he's been trained. Yeah. It is. That does not excuse his behavior. That does not excuse his responsibility. But it is a big part of the reason.
Lumina Family Vlog says the police killed my older brother 2 months ago. God, man. Sorry.
Yeah, we've been approached by some people that, we hear stories from different people directly or indirectly, and it's this 1,000 a year. I think is very, very small number. I think it's very much underreported. I think that number actually comes from like the FBI's, like what's reported. There's no requirement for the reporting of it, I don't think, to the FBI. And so that statistic that somebody mentioned earlier is not really a statistic. It's just bullshit. So, but even if there's not a murder, even if the cops don't murder somebody, because that's what it is. It's not an officer involved shooting. It's murder.
Right. An officer involved shooting.
Even if they don't murder somebody, like practically every interaction that a police officer has is them initiating unjust violence on another person. They're coming with this imaginary thing called authority. They're like, oh, they presume they can do it. They think that putting on this magic costume grants them special powers that other people can't do. Oh man, that person is moving in a hunk of metal faster than something says on a piece of paper. I'm gonna risk everybody else's lives by going faster than them and chase them off the road and demand money. Demand them give me everything that I demand. Give me your name. Give me your information. Where are you coming from? Where are you going? Oh, you're not answering the questions. Oh, that's suspicious. Okay, get out of the car. Oh, I'm going to call a dog. Oh, I'm going to dog hit. Now I'm going to search and tear apart your shit. Oh, you have some money in your car. Okay, now I'm going to take all this money. Right. I'm going to confiscate this because it's probably used for drug money or for it's just drug money. You're dealer. Right. This is nonsense. Like it doesn't even have to be to that extent. It could just be a simple, quote unquote, simple traffic stop, simple traffic ticket, right? Who does this ass clown think he is? He doesn't think, right? They're not thinking. They're just been told, oh, you can do this.
Right.
And you can, we expect you to do this and we're going to pay you to do this.
Mm-hmm. And we'll back you up.
And there's going to be, there's going to be no repercussion for you hurting people, for you forcing people off the side of the road and demanding that they do whatever you say. Like there's no victim, there's no crime. Well, they create victims every time they engage with people. They create victims, whether it be in their official capacity doing a stop, or even if it's quote unquote community policing and they're going to talk to people and say, oh, look, we're good guys. Hey, here, have a hot dog. Here, do whatever. They're creating victims there because what they're doing is shoveling bullshit down the community's throat, saying, here's more propaganda. Trust us, trust us, trust us. It's this.
Hi. You want to come say hello? Miss Nora just woke up from her nap. You're so crazy.
It's the Stockholm Syndrome, so they're perpetuating that. And
Hi.
say hi.
Look, there's Nora on the computer. Don't take your nose. Say hi, everybody. Hi, you, Ma. It's me. Let's see.
And me, hi.
There you go.
And who's this right here?
Nora.
Nora. That's right.
Yeah, Stockholm Syndrome. And it breaks their brains. They don't have,
Yeah.
it's an actual, mental disorder.
Mhm.
And they can't see past it.
Yeah.
And they defend their attackers.
Yeah.
Sydney says, hello, tiny human.
Someone said hi to you. Blow kisses. Blow kisses.
Nah. Good job.
Do you have any more?
Yeah, well, pepperoni audits is in here.
Hey, glad you're out in the free.
Man, I was not tracking that, man. I'm so sorry.
Nice.
But I'm glad you're not in a cage. Very glad. But he said he hates it when, he hates to shoot small animals. Yeah, I just saw a video of a cop running over a baby deer the other day. I saw it last night. I'm not going to play it. So apparently the deer got hit by a car. And I don't know if somebody called the cop out or he just came across it and it was still alive. And so I guess, I'm not even going to try to get inside the mind of this guy, but he runs over it again. Oh, I didn't kill it. And so he runs over it again. He backs up and he goes forward. And there's somebody off that it got recorded on a cell phone because they saw this happening. And he had already run over it twice when they started recording. And he just kept going back and forth over it. He did this for I want to say 7 minutes. At the 7-minute mark, he stopped. And it was up behind the vehicle, and the deer goes to get up again. And so they backed up on it, on the deer. This cop backs up on the deer and just sits there on top of it. And then finally manages to kill it and drag it off. I'm like, why don't you just shoot it? If you're hell bent on killing the deer, then just shoot it. What the hell? What kind of sick, sadistic person is doing this? And then he got in his patrol car and went on to go do God knows what to who knows who else. Pepperoni said they arrested me for saying the word shit. Cop got butthurt when I was recording him at Walmart, jump starting a normal car. Okay. Jeez, man. 48 seconds from the first contact and the handcuffs getting pulled out. Oh my gosh. Did you get it recorded, Pepperoni? You have a video? Of course, if it's Walmart, they've got 1 million cameras there. I'm chirping. Okay. I texted Noli. Last time I did a live, I didn't tell her, and she said I was grounded for life. So I texted her.
Oh,
That's her favorite thing?
all right.
That's her favorite thing.
I know this.
It's pajamas.
Okay, good.
So can't waste a bullet on a deer. Gotta say it for a person. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's zombies. Perth is in here. Noli! She said, let's have a conversation with that baby. No, I did an interview with Brock the other day. I asked him what he likes to do. He said, play games. And that was his answer for everything. That's pretty fun.
Can I wear this? Do you want to wear it?
News Now Ninja have court before the month ends in Alabama. Yeah, let us know how it goes. Keep us posted, everybody. Oh, we got deep stuff to talk about. Nola's got deep stuff to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah? If you want to do a panel, you can. Here.
Oh.
Or you can wrap it up. Do you want to put this on?
48 seconds. Cop watching a new world record for getting arrested? I don't know. I would be interested. Happens pretty quick, and it's happening quicker and quicker.
Yeah, okay.
The cops are getting more and more fearful. I think maybe at some level they know that what they're doing is more and more corrupt and fucked up, and they know people are, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you would think that at some point they would realize that if the shit actually does hit the fan, that they are the first ones to die. That they are the first line of defense for the politicians, for the fucking tyrants, right? And you would think at some point that would click that, oh man, we're on the wrong side of this, and I should probably stop being a tyrant myself, or someone's gonna probably end my life. But I don't know.
You talk to them for a minute. I'm gonna go see what. Yeah.
Trying to get her new diaper, I think.
Okay, I'll help her. I'll be right back. Thank you.
Yeah. I guess Georgia passed something in January that that supposedly makes police officers or law enforcement officers protected class, and if you're convicted of harassment towards them, or that you can, like, the minimum is a year sentence. So it's definitely not going in the right direction, and it's probably going to get a little worse before it gets better. Everybody's speculating on this week if there's going to be some kind of fireworks or something going on. So I don't know. I may go out and try to cover, if what's going on, if there's anything or if there's nothing. So stay tuned for that later this week. And then tonight, I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern, Jeff has a panel on, I think he's talking about the Sixth Amendment. So
Yeah.
if you want to go check that out over in the NC Tyrant Hunter channel, that's later this evening.
Yeah. It's already 4:30, so it's not much longer.
Yeah, a couple hours.
Yeah, I don't need to do a panel. I gotta make dinner here in a minute. Kind of a weird time of day to be hanging out too long.
Anything else you want to read or cover?
Oh, Simplify Matt had a case live stream today. See, I gotta come figure out how to keep up with everybody.
Is that still up on your channel, Matt?
No, Lion posted about it. Matt, I don't see Matt in here right now.
Oh.
I'll have to go check.
Go find it. All right.
Yeah. All right, guys. There is a giveaway for a body cam on Diamond's channel at 9 Eastern time. Post a link. Wait, Dianons? I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. Help me out, Noli. Hey, geek got. Why can't I ever say this right? Geektonomy. Geek. Hold on. Geek and then O and then TOMY. Help me.
Geek autonomy?
Yes. No, there's no N.
Geekotomy?
Thank you. Thank you. I read it all the time. I see it on my Facebook. I just don't say it out loud. Sorry. It's coming from case law. It's still up. Okay. On Simplifies. Oh, diamonds. Okay. Thanks, Nolly. Silver diamonds. There is otomy, like lobotomy. Okay. Okay. Thanks. All right, people. I'm gonna turn this off and see who's driving by. Catch you later. Good? All right.